This is crazy, bro. This is crazy. I'm about to explain how crazy this is about to get, bro. I'm about to explain how this is getting crazy. Like the level of annoyed right now is beyond me right now, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. But like I said, I'm gonna continue the journey. We're gonna keep this thing going. MGT, what it do? It's your boy Moody Starr. Back again with the live. This is a live update. This is a 7 day forecast of what is going to happen energetically as far as like your body, as far as like retention journey goes, as far as like the moon, how it plays a factor on like your energy field, a woman's energy field, and things of that nature. Now, before we get started, I'm gonna wait for a few people to get into the building. Before I started this live, I literally did a 30-minute video that I was trying to post, and I was unable to post this 30-minute video, bro. It was good information, but it is what it is. But I ain't gonna lie, this kind of feels like I don't know. We just gonna play some music and chill for a second. I'm gonna play a little. Hold on, wait. Before I even do this, I'm gonna play just a few beats just to get, because I'm not gonna lie, of like the level of like irritation that I am transmuting into something positive is a lot. It's a lot, and I literally just spoke on this in my recent video. Okay, so I want to let you guys know something before we even get started. As we continue the journey, bro, the thing about the spiritual journey, there's always yin and yang to everything. There's always a yin and yang to everything. So that means you could be on a high streak, but if you are at the point of being complacent, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like I just repeat. It's like I feel like I'm repeating myself because I literally just did a 30-minute video and I'm kind of like blah about it. I don't. I kind of feel a type of way about it because I tried to post the first half of it, that didn't work. I tried to send it to a different device, that didn't work. It was just this something going on. But I ain't gonna lie, bro. Being resilient while all this is happening is the thing that like it's gonna make me stronger. You feel me? So, but I do have my notes. I do have my notes, and I was literally waiting for the dryer to stop. I'm willing to bet that like things are about to get loud in a few seconds. I ain't gonna lie. I just did a 30-minute video that I didn't want to post or whatever, but yeah, I got my notes. So keep in mind this is a 7 day forecast. All right. Um, I want to jump in yet. I'm waiting for a few more people to get into the building. Or actually, wait, 4 minutes in. I'll probably wait till about like 10 minutes to start. So there's a yin and yang to everything, right? Recently, this has probably been one of the most challenging weekends for me from a standpoint of experiencing the Judas effect. Okay. So when you talk about what is the Judas effect essentially is when you have a trusted source, somebody that you know for quite some time. They probably used to be in your corner, but obviously something changed, and they're not in your corner anymore. Um, Things like that are going to happen, and when they do happen, I ain't gonna lie. What was the age that Jesus passed away? I think it was age 33, right? Jesus, I think he was crucified at the age of 33. Between the age as a man, I don't know about women, but I know as a man, when you get to age 33 to 35 to 36, That's when the biggest betrayals are going to happen in your entire life. When you talk about Jesus being crucified, you might go through your own version of crucifixion, not in the sense of like you dying or anything like that, but there's people and sources that you used to trust that you're just not going to trust anymore. And the reason why you're not going to trust them anymore is because they're going to quietly take a knife, a beautiful sideways ass matrix knife, and stick it in your back. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Yo, peace. What's the deal? So I'm about to go over the 7 day forecast for the energy for your energy field, like what to look forward to, what to expect. This is something I'm going to be doing every weekend. Um, I'm just waiting. I give it like 4 more minutes and I get started type shit. I'm just waiting for a few more people to get into the chat. But yeah, we need to have an awareness as to what is going on as far as the moon is concerned. Whenever we have a full moon, a half moon, a crescent moon, that plays a huge part on our energetic body, whether we know it or not. So, just in case you guys don't know anything about it or you don't want to look it up, I did the research already. And this is catered more so towards the spiritual journey, people being on the retention journey, things of that nature. You feel me? But yeah, man, I've been experiencing the Judas effect as of recent. Salute to you, G. Shout out to everybody in the building. Um, very. I ain't gonna hold you. Like I said, I'm Moody Starr. I don't like to lie about what I'm feeling and shit. Like I'm kind of annoyed because I just did a 30-minute video that's not being posted right now. And today's the last day of the month, so I'm trying to get as much content as out as much as possible. But this live was already planned anyway. I got my notes. We're gonna go over the 7 day. So this 7 day forecast is for between December 1st and December 7th. So starting Monday, which is tomorrow, uh, the energy is gonna shift. Especially month to month, energy usually shifts. This is Christmas time or whatnot. So there's gonna be a lot of traveling, a lot of bots going to sleep. There's gonna be a lot of people wanting to gather together. There's gonna be a lot of ritualistic things happening where it seems like it's a jolly good year and a jolly good time, but there's a dark there's a dark truth behind every holiday. Okay, I'm not one to fully embrace each holiday, especially since I've kind of like learned about everything. So you feel me? I'm just taking my time as far as like controlling my energy, doing the best that I can to not get triggered or not fall off my uh, fall off my square, my pivot. You feel me? Because just recently I found out some news that was kind of like backstabbing, kind of like Judas like. Very disappointed. Definitely messed my mind up for 2 seconds, but then I had to recenter myself, just like I was talking about in the live before. Like you can't depend on outside sources or anybody like that to really be you know out there for you. Somebody just said beware of energy vampires. Absolutely, bro. Ain't just crazy that you said that. I didn't even want to use that terminology, but energy vampires, that's true. An energy vampire is not some scary looking demon looking being. Like, no, they be looking like regular people, bro. An energy vampire, bro. Sometimes it's not even about fighting against your energy. It's all manipulation. It's all mass hypnosis. Your annoyance levels are sensitive on SR. 100%, man. And then you're also more sensitive to the truth. I was just saying in my video, which hopefully I get a chance to. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm either gonna post my video, or if I can't post my video, I'm gonna go live and I'm just gonna have the video play so you guys can watch it and then we'll go over it together. Maybe I might do that later. But going back to the whole like levels of being sensitive to the truth, bro. Do you how many of y'all actually like hearing the truth? If you had a choice to be lied to for the rest of your life, or for somebody to tell you the truth? Which one would you prefer? The reason why I ask is because whenever I tend to tell the truth, whenever I tend to speak up on certain things, I get shunned. I get ignored. They tell me to be quiet. People be like, "Oh, you, who are you, one to talk? You not better than me." And my thing is like, did I say I was trying to be better than you? No. The truth is the truth, regardless of the fact. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes people will like to, for example, just because I like to tell the truth, that doesn't mean I'm perfect because I'm not. You feel me? Shit, if anything, somebody said, I'd rather hear the truth. See, that's the thing. 80 to 90% of the people, based on my math, don't want to hear the truth. They just want to hear beautiful lies. They want to have smoke blown up their ass, for lack of a better term. Because the very second that you try to tell the truth, it becomes a problem. Now, that's the difference between, again, I feel like I'm repeating I'm repeating the video I just did, and I wish like it was posted already so it could just be out there in the atmosphere or the frequency. But I think what I am going to do is like go over the video probably later. There's a lot of noise and shit going on, so uh, I may do MGT nightcap. So y'all stay tuned for that, where I go over like my 30-minute video that I couldn't post. You feel me? But what I was gonna say is, as far as like the truth and stuff, bro, people literally don't want to hear the truth because it makes them uncomfortable. The truth makes you uncomfortable. The truth made me uncomfortable. But then at the same time, I'll be like, well, hold on, wait. If Because I know if I live in a lie as well, that shit makes me uncomfortable as well. It's like, my nigga, if I'm gonna be uncomfortable, I might as well be uncomfortably true, right? So, and this message is more so for, let's say like you're in a younger generation. Let's say you might be 16 through 25 or something like that. And you see somebody who's 35, 40, 55. You see how they're living their life, and you try to point out, hey, if you do this, this could be a little bit better. Now, granted, again, I'm not trying to say like uh the older generation has to listen to us, but it's like, I feel like the younger the generation is, the more clear they can see the truth, because it's the less filtered they are in the world. You know what I'm saying? If you're younger, you kind of been through less stuff, but you're kind of closer to the spiritual realm as well. You're closer to your innocence, in other words, right? When you try to, and I'm not saying it's your job to do that, but like when you're living a lie that everybody's just agreeing to, that's when it just becomes like, like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? That's why, me personally, I just stay to myself. My spirit, my energy, I'm a truth seeker. And if I'm a living life, I want to be comfortable in a sense. I want to be comfortable in a sense, but I also don't want to be too comfortable. And then I become complacent. Again, there's always a balance between, your energies, right? So I realize that a lot of people will rather like a beautiful lie than a God honest truth. I don't know why. And the crazy thing about it, let's say you're lying and then somebody catches you in the lie. Oh, now you're being exposed for liar. Oh, you're fake. You're fake. You're a liar. You was lying this whole time. You're not who you said you was. But if I tell you, you get what I'm saying? Like, even if I was to tell you the truth, would you even listen? You get what I'm saying? Now, again, it's not bestowed upon me to break down all the barriers and shit. I could care less about what y'all got going. If you don't care about me, why should I care about you? In other words, right? But I've experienced a level of betrayal, and I don't know. It's just kind of getting to that point where I'm just like, whatever, bro. It is what it is. Between age 33 and 35, 36, that's when Jesus was going through what he was going through. So I'm not gonna make this live too long. We're about 15 minutes in now. I did see some people in the comment section, but you guys left. That's okay. I'm literally gonna start. You can just watch this on replay. But let's go into the topic of conversation. I just wanted to get out my energy first. You feel me? Just get out like what's on my mind and stuff. So now I can get to the topic of discussion. All right, so here we go. Okay, so December 1st through December 7th. This is the energy forecast. Semen retention plus moon influence, masculine, feminine polarity, uh, scientific breakdown. Okay, so December 1st, Monday. Uh, Theme: grounding plus reset. The week starts with a calm moon energy, like a quiet nightlight. Feminine energy, soft, observant, not reactive. So basically, how I'm breaking this down, this is for like how it's going to affect a woman's point of view. So that way, if you got your girl, you know like what energy you can vibrate out of to like communicate with her. And then I also will be breaking down the masculine energy as far as like what the moon, how the moon affects the masculine. Okay. So again, we're gonna start from the beginning again. December 1st, Monday. Theme: grounding plus reset. The week starts with a calm moon energy, like a quiet nightlight. Okay. For the feminine energy, soft, observant, non-reactive. For for your masculine field, want stability, routine, and breathing room. Okay, this is a brand new month. Lock down your routines. The reason why I say that is because this is the last month of the year. Because it's the last month of the year, before you know that, it's gonna be January. When it becomes January, nigga, like we're already in 2026. You should already be in a 2026 mindset anyway. Okay, so lock down your routine. You want stability. The masculine energy is gonna want stability. So make sure you're locking down the routine. You have your breathing room. You have your reset. Okay. So the neuroscience behind this, your parasympathetic nervous system is taking over today. This is on Monday. Okay. This resets your dopamine and makes your aura feel steady. All right. So hypnotic cue. Uh, and this is something that you can probably like say to yourself if you want to. As you breathe today, notice how safety settles into your body. Let the ground holding you up. Uh, Hold on, let me repeat that. As you breathe today, notice how safety settles into your body, like the ground holding you up with effort. Okay, that's for Monday. So again, for Monday, the focus is you want stability, you want to ground yourself in your routine, and you want breathing room. So make sure you're working on like what you plan to do for the routine for the month of December. This is pivoting into a new year, so keep in mind this is what you want to do. You want to stay on point with that. Okay, and the neuroscience behind that, like I said, your parasympathetic nervous system is taking over. This resets your dopamine and makes your aura feel steady. All right. So for December 2nd, on Tuesday, the theme: magnetic charge. Your presence gets stronger today. Retention increases your internal electricity. All right. For the feminine energy, increased eye contact and curiosity. And for the masculine energy, magnetic without trying. So usually you are going to have days like that where it's just like, your energy is just flowing. You feel me? Like you're just in this flow state. It's just happening like how it needs to happen. On Tuesday, don't be surprised if you attract certain things and things happen magnetically. It has to happen magnetically first before it actually happens physically. Okay? The neuroscience behind this: mirror neurons fire more efficiently today. People feel your vibe before you speak. And this is for Tuesday, December 2nd. Okay? So, um, you don't try, you simply exist, and the world drifts closer. All right? So that's for Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025. So keep in mind the moon energy is going to kind of have your magnetism in this state where it's like you're not even trying. This is just effortless flow state. You feel me? So for December 3rd, Wednesday, okay, the theme: emotional waves. The moon pulls on the emotional body just like it pulls on the ocean. For the feminine energy, more emotional, expressive, intuitive. And for the masculine field, might feel old urges or thoughts rise up. Now, I'm glad they said something about this because when you talk about retaining your energy, we always talk about like the good stuff of it. Or we always talk about like, oh, we're flow state, we're feeling like the guy, we have the glow. But we don't, sometimes a lot of people don't like to talk about the bad stuff, like, you know, relapse and things of that nature. So keep in mind if you get some type of like feeling out of nowhere that you might be feeling the urge, that's a pull in the magnetic field that's happening that is kind of like somewhat affecting your body. So you have to be focused and not fall for, you know, uh, the energy field, how it pulls on your energy. So this can happen in the form of a person, place, or thing, believe it or not, or a trigger. Sometimes triggers themselves tend to, you know, put you in a state where you relapse. Okay. So understanding the feminine side of this, and this is for December 3rd, Wednesday, feminine energy, Wednesday, more they will be more emotional, more expressive, and more intuitive. So if you plan to try to lie that day, don't lie. Wednesday, don't lie to a female because they're going to be very in tune with their intuition. And again, I was just talking about this whole truth versus lie thing. You never want to lie anyway. I feel like the truth actually would set you free because most people don't care about the truth. So that's why it will actually set you free, believe it or not. So the neuroscience behind this for December 3rd, as far as like the energy is concerned, Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025, neuroscience, the amygdala, wait, let me say this again. The amygdalana wakes up slightly. This is your brain releasing old patterns, not breaking down. So literally your brain, like when you're about to level up sometimes, your brain will literally release these old patterns. And I actually felt like that too, low key. Like it felt like I'm like, oh, I have an old urge. Let's not feed into that urge. Just understand that the mind is releasing, you know, it's kind of purging your mind from old habits. So just because something pops up in your mind doesn't mean you have to act on it. You see what I'm saying? So emotions are just waves, and you are the deep ocean beneath them. Okay, so keep that in mind. So for December 3rd, Thursday, theme masculine alignment. Clarity hits, you feel more centered, more logical, and more grounded. For the feminine energy, responds positively to your calm certainty. And for the masculine field, discipline becomes easy today. So this is for Thursday, coming up this week. All right. So keep in mind, again, you can rewatch this live over and over, or like for the day, whatever day pops up, you can revisit this. I'm doing a live. Okay. So for the what was I saying? Responds positively. It says, okay, my bad. Clarity hits. Clarity hits. All right, masculine alignment. Clarity hits. You feel more centered, more logical, and more grounded. All right. So for the feminine energy, responds positively to your calm certainty, and for the masculine field, discipline becomes easy today. All right. So the neuroscience behind this, I'll let you guys know. Your prefrontal cortex, focus plus discipline, is dominant today. So this is going to be for Thursday, December 4th, coming up this week. All right. And this is all based on like where the moon is going to be at and just the energetic field overall. Okay. So your prefrontal cortex is dominant today. Retention feels natural. All right. Notice how calm strength rises in you, like a mountain remembering its his height. All right. So that is for December 4th, this upcoming Thursday. Keep in mind you want to maintain a level of focus and just understand it's gonna be outside interference that try to like, you know what I'm saying. So what you need to do is refocus yourself even when people try to, you know, take you off your course. It's about staying focused regardless, you feel me. So keep in mind this is when discipline becomes easy, when you can refocus yourself and not get overstimulated by emotions and stuff like that, you feel me. So for December 5th, Friday, the theme, attraction peak. Okay. Your aura brightens. Your energy is contained, not leaking. This naturally attracts. Okay, so for the feminine energy, they're going to be receptive, playful, and more open. And this is based on where the moon, like how the moon is going to affect the your electromagnetic field. Okay, for both male and female. So for the feminine energy, it's going to be receptive, playful, and more open. For the masculine field, it's going to be a lot more confident without forcing confidence. You feel me? Now, this is going to be Friday, December 5th. This sounds similar to Wednesday, December 2nd, except you got to keep in mind, I'm going to add my 2 cents into it. Anytime it's Friday, bro, and you're feeling yourself, bro, like this is when you really need to clamp down because a lot of stuff can happen on a lower vibrational scale. Or people who's on a high streak, that's when their streak usually ends. So keep in mind, if you want to keep a high streak, if you want to maintain your energy, you want to maintain focus, um, a lot of the feminine energy that you will see, that you will, I would say, experience, uh, she's going to be receptive, she's going to be playful, and she's going to be more open. Now, when I say this, this may not apply to all women in the world, but majority speaking, based on the moon and based on the energetic field, that's the vibrations both male and female will be in. Female will be more receptive, playful, and open, and the masculine field will be confident without forcing confidence. Okay. The neuroscience behind it: testosterone feels high, dopamine is stable. This combo makes your presence feel full. Okay. So your existence becomes a signal, and the world listens. All right. So for December 6th, Saturday, all right, we got temptation slash testing. This also sounds like Wednesday as well, but Saturday coming up, the moon stirs emotions again, especially desire, memory, and temptation. So for feminine energy, sensitive, hot slash cold, emotional. That's going to be this Saturday on an energetic field, like on an energetic scale. I'm not saying like she's personally gonna be like this, but I'm telling you, if you understand where the moon is and what and like when the full moons is coming and shit, this is why you can. This is how you can be more proactive and more prepared, and that way you can go on a longer streak or avoid an obvious relapse because a lot of people will literally relapse all at the same time due to the moon, due to the time of year. So you have to be aware. Okay. Uh, For feminine energy is going to be sensitive slash hot and cold emotional, and for masculine, you may feel cravings, urges, or old patterns calling. So the neuroscience behind that: reward circuits flare up, not to sabotage you, but to help you retrain them. You feel the pull, and then you notice your power sits above it, watching calmly. So that is an example of like a successful way to get through Saturday, um, maintaining your energy and understanding like how all this relates to your nervous system. Okay. And I'm gonna break down the nervous system in a second because I do want to add to that part and see, and I'll let you guys know how all this ties in. All right, so the last day coming up for next week, Sunday, forecast. Uh, Theme: uh, integration plus clarity. This is the completion day. All right, masculine and feminine energy harmonize. Feminine energy peaceful around you. Masculine field calm, confident, effortless presence. The neuroscience behind this: your nervous system adapts. Retention feels natural. Your baseline is rising. So the so today you become the version of yourself you always were growing into. I kind of feel like that today actually, which is kind of weird. This is a feeling I'm actually gonna be feeling next week. But just to give you guys a quick summary, um, December 1st would be grounding. December 2nd is magnetism. December 3rd is emotional waves. December 4th is masculine clarity. December 5th is attraction peak. December 6th is temptation plus testing. And December 7th is integration plus elevation. All right. So that is the 7 day forecast, energetically speaking. Okay. As we continue the retention journey, we got to understand that there's always going to be obstacles. Again, when I started this live, I told you guys, like, you know, I wasn't really, you know what I'm saying? I really wasn't like feeling myself type shit. Like, I was like very annoyed and stuff. I made a video for 30 minutes, had a problem posting that. And every time when I have some type of momentum, it seems as though YouTube is glitching up or outside interference, people trying to get me to do stuff. It's like as soon as I plan to go live, it's like why all the background noise and everything. You feel me? It's just it's weird. But again, I like to be resilient. Okay, and I'm going to continue the journey regardless. So real quick, I'm going to hold on. Let me see. I'm gonna pull up like my notes for the nervous system. Nervous system points on tension. Down. Yeah. That's the thing about shit, bro. Like going back to what somebody said earlier, the energy vampires is real, bro. So you gotta be aware of like it comes in many shapes and forms. They really do. So before again, this is not gonna be like a long live, but it's gonna be very informative. Okay. So I'm about to break down the neurological breakdown of semen retention, and this is the nervous system edition. All right. So let me introduce you to the nervous system real quick before we get started, or my interpretation of what the nervous system is. Now, obviously, when you think of the human body, you look at yourself as a biological computer, right? My doctor said I'm about to hit my 6 months mark. Any tips to look out for? Um, yeah, uh, 6 month mark. Any tips? Shit, I just say stay locked in. Whatever you've been manifesting, just keep going, bro. You feel me? And make sure that you have end goal. You know, and when I say end goal, that doesn't mean like, oh, when are you gonna, find a chick and do whatever. But like, just make sure you are taking care of your goals while you're. The thing about it, you don't want to be on retention for 6 months and you ain't accomplished nothing in your life. The point of being on retention is to manifest and to manifest fast, low key, while still having a level of discernment and having a level of like, okay, cool, I can delay my gratification, but what am I getting out of holding on to my seat? You know what I'm saying? So you got to ask yourself that. If you're manifesting, keep going, but you have to be heading somewhere. You feel me? So as far as the, well, I was going to talk about the nervous system, right? What I understand the nervous system to be is a network of neurons and electrons and protons and neutrons, like everything that connects to your hands, your eyes, everything. It starts from your brain, or it starts from the pineal gland, it goes down to the spine, and then from the spine, you have different neurons and different electromagnetism that goes throughout the body. And this is the reason why, like, your hands can move, why you can blink, why you can breathe without thinking about it. Um, there's a lot that's going on in the nervous system, okay? So I'm going to explain to you neurologically the breakdown of semen retention, nervous system edition. Number one, dopamine reset, the motivation chemical. When you stop releasing, your dopamine system stops getting overstimulated. This is the reason why people become overstimulated, because you stay trying to stimulate yourself, whether it's online, whether it's with a chick or whatever. It's like you can't even reset your brain unless you actually refrain. So when you stop releasing, your dopamine system stops getting overstimulated. What that means neurologically, dopamine receptors begin to repair and become more sensitive. Small things feel rewarding again. Your mood stabilizes and your motivation returns. How does it feel? You don't need as much stimulation, um, because your brain starts rewarding you just for being alive. This is where the glow comes from. This is where like when you have a sense of like you're moving with a sense of urgency, but you're already moving with a sense of like you already won the game because you started the game before you even left the house. The game is to retain your energy and level up. So the very moment that you are already putting yourself in a position to win, that's like going to the court. If you guys see my recent clips of me shooting basketball, I was shooting a lot of shots and whatnot. I made 102 shots, but the only reason why I made 102 shots is because I was on my 40-day challenge, and I had to take more than 102 shots to make 102 shots. So the fact that I went out there and I just showed up to the court made my shot get what 30, 40 times better, all because I positioned myself while I was on retention. So again, like when you're on retention, um, small things feel rewarding. Your mood stabilizes, your motivation returns. And how does it feel? You don't need as much stimulation because your brain starts rewarding you for being alive. Okay, so think of dopamine like a phone battery. All right. If you keep draining it, it releases, it dies fast, retention charges it. Okay. Number two, the prefrontal cortex activation, the CEO of your brain. This is the part responsible for discipline, focus, long term thinking, impulse control. Impulse control is a huge thing. Nigga, that's my weakness. I ain't gonna hold you, especially if somebody betrayed me or did me wrong. Like, I just need to work on like that impulse of like not being bitter or mad or feeling down on myself. You feel me? But that's something I have to work on. But again, prefrontal cortex activation, the CEO of your brain. This is the part responsible for discipline, focus, long-term thinking, impulse control. Okay, so while on semen retention, your prefrontal cortex gets more blood flow and more glucose, which makes it stronger than your impulses. All right. So translation: your logical brain becomes louder, your urges become quieter, for lack of a better term. All right. So number three, lower amygdala reactivity, the fear plus emotion center. The amygdala controls, and this is a part of your brain, controls anxiety, emotional triggers, addictive impulses. All right. So anytime you have anxiety, emotional triggers, and addictive impulses, and if somebody's trying to attack you, they're literally attacking the activity of your amygdala. Well, amygdala. Well, amygdala. I said it right. I'm tripping. Um, I don't know. It feels like I'm saying Delilah for some reason. But yeah, so you lower your amygdala reactivity when fear emotion, tends to like happens. You feel me? So anxiety, emotional triggers, addictive impulses. Retention calms the amygdala down because your body isn't constantly thrown into reward, crash cycles. The outcome, you feel less anxious, less reactive, less needy, less controlled by urges. You stop acting like fight or flight and start acting from centered consciousness. Okay? So, number four, the sympathetic, parasympathetic balance. All right? Now, some of y'all, I know some of this sounds like foreign English and shit like that, but if you're going to be watching my videos and shit like that, I'm going to let you know. In real time, this is what I be doing. I be researching stuff and then I read it and I see like throughout the week, like, okay, what's happening in this part of my brain? Okay, my nervous system is trying to talk to me. This is how you can pick up on what's an urge and what's like outside energies, um, entities that we can't see with our eyes. This is how you can tell the difference. You feel me? So you have to understand the inner workings of yourself to understand how to manage your energy. You feel me? Once you can do that, you become very powerful. I'm telling you right now, this is powerful information that I'm sharing with you guys. And if you resonate with this energy, drop a bag on the Cash App to support the team or PayPal. You already know what time it is, but I'm gonna keep going. It's still free game. Even if you ain't got no cash, it's still free game for you. All right, so sympathetic slash parasympathetic balance. Your nervous system has two main modes: sympathetic, which is stress, chasing, and craving, and parasympathetic, which is calm, confidence, and control. Retention shifts you from hypersexual flight or flight into calm, grounded, parasympathetic energy. Okay? So, how does this affect your aura or your magnetism or your glow? Great question. I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you're paying attention too. All right, people feel your calmness. Women especially feel it. It reads as masculinity. All right. Now, one thing about all the shit that I've been through this weekend and shit, throughout everything, even though I felt like shit, even though I felt like I got backstabbed and everything, I was calm throughout the whole process. If I was a little bit more emotional, then it would be a totally different story. But I stayed calm, and when you stay calm, you can weather the storm a lot easier. The storm still might happen, but if you stay calm through it, you're breathing through it. You kind of understand like, okay, cool. That emotionally triggered me. That triggered what the I think it was the sympathetic. Yeah, it triggered the sympathetic part of my brain. So instead of letting that allow myself to affect the rest of my brain, I'm gonna raise my awareness to it, and uh, I'm going to counter that with something that is going to make me be a lot more calmer, allow me to just be in a better state where I'm probably like listening to music or watching a show like Family Matters for some reason. I don't know why I said that. That's an old ass show, and I'm showing my age by saying that. But you get what I'm saying? Fresh Prince, whatever the fuck. You feel me? That's showing my age again. But you feel me? Once you have to learn. The thing about it is that people tend to hack your brain every single day, whether you know it or not. So you have to learn how to rehack your brain in the frequency that is aligned up with your true goals or your thoughts, your feelings, your My Wife and Kids. That's another good one. That's a good show as well. But make sure you align yourself with the energy that's centered within you. You see what I'm saying? So how does this affect your aura? People feel your calmness. Women especially feel it. It reads masculinity. Number 5, increased testosterone, stronger neural signaling. Okay, testosterone influences risk taking, confidence, posture, decision making, social dominance behavior. Retention boosts testosterone sensitivity, even more important than raw testosterone levels. That means your brain becomes more responsive to your own masculinity. The signal gets louder. Okay, so what you're gonna notice too is as you're leveling up, is like let's say you level up and then you fuck up. What's gonna happen is the energy that you leveled up with is not going nowhere. It's actually gonna stay there, and it's actually going to compare yourself to the energy that you leveled up with and the energy that you fucked up with. And that's you're gonna literally you're gonna be right in the middle of all this shit happening. You're gonna be like, wait, this level up version of me is a lot more attractive in the sense that like I can be fully masculine and I can be fully in control and I can get exactly what I want with enough patience. People forget the patience part. But if you have enough patience, you can get exactly what the hell you want. Trust and believe. Be careful. But for me, it's like, okay, boom. If I mess up, I always question, well, why did I mess up? What's so attractive about me messing up or me relapsing or whatever? And then when I try to find that reason and I compare it to the best version of myself, the best version of myself, I literally have like an inner conversation with myself, and I'm like, we're both like, yo, like, what do you really want? Like, do you want to keep doing this shit to yourself, or do you really want to level up? Because you was about to reach your blessing, but because you can't because like you got triggered, you fell back to whoever to see if that's really what you want. And it's like we know that's not what you really want, type shit. So whether it's like eating unhealthy, dealing with a toxic ex, dealing with family members that don't really got your corner, it depends. It's hard. Some things, the truth sometimes it's hard to talk about. You feel me? So I don't want to put people's business out there like that. But that's what I always ask myself. You feel me? The level up version of me talks a lot of shit. And it literally be like, yo, now you have to thug it out. Because by the time you get out of your whatever caveman and stuff, like you still have to take care of business. Whatever high that you chose, whatever alcohol that you chose, whatever cigarettes or whatever the fuck that you chose, as soon as that shit clears your mind, the same shit that was stressing you out is still going to be there existing regardless. So you have to continue the journey. You still breathing. You feel me? So that was just like a little sidebar. But yeah, increased testosterone, stronger neural signaling. Testosterone influences risk taking, confidence, posture, decision making, social dominance behavior. Retention boosts testosterone sensitivity, even more important than raw testosterone levels. This means your brain becomes more responsive to your own masculinity. The signal gets louder. Okay. My dad said the beauty of SR is how you gain. Oh shit, my bad. How you gain an energetic economic viewpoint of self. That's facts. I like how you worded that. All right, so number 6, stronger electromagnetic field, the aura. This isn't spiritual fluff. It's measurable. Okay. I don't like to give you guys spiritual fluff anyway. I like the information that I share with y'all is for you to test in your life and then for you to measure it for yourself so you can prove to yourself. I don't make these videos trying to prove retention. I'm literally making these videos because I know what my experience is, and if you resonate with my experience, then if you want to share it, you can, or if not, it is what it is. As long as you're doing what you need to do, right? The stronger electromagnetic field, the aura. This isn't spiritual fluff, it's measurable. Your heart and nervous system generate an electromagnetic field. On semen retention, energy isn't being drained, so the field becomes stronger and more coherent. All right? Women feel this subconsciously because their nervous systems are more intuitive. All right? This is why people stare longer, women become more open, you feel more seen, your presence fills the room. This is quite. This is basically having a loud pack. This is what I be talking about in my videos 2-3 years ago. Niggas walk around like they got that loud pack. These females can feel that. They can feel the pheromones permeating off of your body. It hits the. Listen, if you can give off a type of smell, because I'm not gonna lie, one of the biggest ways to kind of manipulate somebody, and I read. This is why you need to do your research on shit, bro. But one of the biggest ways to manipulate somebody, or even whether it's a guy or a girl, because guys and girls, they both do the same shit, is by smell. What happens is when you smell something, it bypasses the logical part of the brain and you have an emotional reaction to what you smell. What does that mean? If you put on some cologne that can possibly get a female kind of aroused or whatnot, she's going to get, and again, this is not this is the dark psychology of retention and knowing how to utilize your energy, but you are going to summon her to become horny, essentially, for lack of a better term, without even trying, based on a smell, because it directly passes the logical part of the brain, goes into the emotional part, and once you feel an emotion, usually you feel the emotion throughout your whole entire body. So the same way how a female puts on perfume and shit like that, and she walks past you and you smell her, that's she's saying, fuck your conscious mind. I'm gonna get you to fall for me, plus my looks, plus my aura. But the smell is the most powerful thing, one of the most key things. Because I guarantee you, if you walk past a female and she smell like ass, or she done passed gas or some shit, she smell like a football locker room or some shit, you gonna feel disgusted. You're not even gonna care about how she looks. Just by the smell alone, you're gonna be like, nigga, what the fuck is that? Like, get the fuck on. Like, no. Like, I'm disgusted. You see what I'm saying? I'm telling you. So with that being said, when you practice retention, there's a pheromone type of smell that you give off subconsciously, right? And consciously. So when a female smells that and you are already in your masculine energy, this is going to activate her body. She may not even know why she's attracted to you. You see what I'm saying? Now again, I'm not saying for you to douse yourself in a whole bunch of cologne and then try to go crazy, because again, there has to be balance. And if you try too much, if you try too hard, coming off as like I'm putting on 3 different colognes and shit, and I got my earrings and shit, and I'm loud, I got on this loud green shirt or red shirt. It's like, come on, bro. Like, what are you doing? You're doing way too much. Okay? So, but keep in mind that retention, bro, is kind of, once you get to a level of balancing your energy and understanding your electromagnetic field, there's a lot of things you can do to amplify yourself to be noticed. But that's besides the point. That just comes with, that's just a byproduct of you being on your shit, being purpose driven. You get what I'm saying? It's not necessarily about attracting women per se, but it's about understanding how you react when you do have multiple women or when you have your one main girl, whichever you decide. All I know, every prophet within the Bible, I don't know if them niggas had ever had a wife. I don't think Jesus had a wife. If you think about Jesus, I always ask this question. You think Jesus had hoes? I think he did. You feel me? But then he had to display a level of retention because just imagine all day 24/7 somebody all these females calling your name. That shit crazy, right? But let me get back to so again, stronger electromagnetic field, the aura. This isn't fluff, it's measurable. Okay, so every energy isn't being drained, so the field becomes stronger and more coherent. Women feel this subconsciously because their nervous systems are more intuitive. All right, this is why people stare longer, women become more open, you feel more seen, and your presence fills the room every time I go somewhere. Bro, I was chilling outside on my porch. I think it was three females that they walked past the house. They stopped in front of the house and wanted to play around with. I think they had a baby or a dog, one of the two. I don't know, but they was like, they wanted to stay literally in front of the house. Now I know they wasn't doing that shit on purpose, but subconsciously, I already know it's an energetic thing. Hell, if I was, sometimes like if I'm playing basketball and I see a female, she walks up to the court, nigga, I ain't gonna hold you. I might turn into like prime Kobe Bryant or prime Gilbert Arenas before the gambling. You feel me? Before the BBs, before the bust downs. You know what I'm saying? I could turn into like Jordan LeBron. There's something about a female energy that does something to my nervous system that made me want to ball out. And I know some of y'all know. If you've been at the court, it don't even matter. It don't even have to be your girlfriend. The fact that it's a female watching you and she's into the game, niggas start playing harder. And that's how powerful your electromagnetic energy actually is, whether you know it or not. And it happens every day. Okay? So number 7, reward circuit reconditioning. This is big because this is how drugs and alcohol, this is why people can't let it go, because of the reward circuit. So you have to recondition yourself. You feel me? Your brain has pathways that say, we get pleasure from this, right? When you stop releasing, those pathways rewire itself. Neurological results, less addiction, more clarity, more creativity, more drive, more emotional stability. You start craving your purpose, not cheap pleasure, okay? So that's pretty much self-explanatory. When you do retain your energy, you're just rewiring your mind. The very second that you become active is like, bro, think of like a demolition, right? Think of like somebody about to, take a big ass, and knock down the building. Every time you release, that's what you're doing. You're knocking down all the work that you put in. Because now you got to start all, like, you don't necessarily have to start all the way over, but like you have to burn more energy to get back to where you was at. So you kind of like wasting time at this point in time by starting over. Now, if you have like if you know you have an end date, because again, I'm gonna go over. It may not be in this live, but I'm actually gonna talk about the positive effects of actually releasing. Healthy, if you're with a woman, you want to procreate, that's cool. Or even if it's like you're casually doing it, like I said, have a protocol and just be safe when you're having fun. If you're going to have fun, because again, I ain't gonna tell y'all that some of you niggas is gonna be acting like nuns for the rest of your life. Some of y'all still gonna, you feel me, do stuff, but still have at least a protocol. I'd rather people have a protocol than to go out there savagely and not even think about their actions. If you think about what you're gonna do, believe it or not, dog, like you can low key, you can kind of get away with a lot of shit. Being on retention kind of covers a multitude of sins because now you're moving strategically, and you're not just moving not only strategically, but your energy is becoming intelligent itself. So even your addictions, as they start to kind of dissipate and disappear, like they won't be addictions like that where it's just like it has a strong hold on you or anything like that. Like they will literally disappear. You know what I'm saying? But you have to work your energy, right? So this is how you recircuit the reconditioning of the wiring within your brain. Practice retention. The neurological results, again, less addiction, more clarity, more creativity, more drive, more emotional stability, and you start craving your purpose, not cheap pleasure. Cheap pleasure is you can get cheap pleasure right now. Cheap pleasure is literally everywhere. You can go down the street and find some cheap pleasure. You feel me? But why would you want to get something that's so easy, that's cheap? Why would you want to keep going to McDonald's knowing like it's gonna take you like 8, 9 days to actually shit that shit out because it's not gonna process properly within your nervous system, within your body. You see what I'm saying? And I ain't mean to ruin some of y'all's lunch or whatever because I know some of y'all ate McDonald's today. It's okay. I'm not judging. I'm literally not judging. Okay? I'm literally not. I'm just saying what it is. You feel me? All right, number 8. Increase me, how you spell it? Myelination. It sounds like melanation. Increased myelination. It's spelled Myelination. Better neural speed. So we're going to talk about speed real quick within the brain. Retention supports nutrient conservation, especially zinc and B vitamins, which help build myelin, spelled Myelin. That's the insulation of neurons. Okay? This means your thoughts get faster, your reactions get sharper, your move and speak, you move and speak with more precision. It's like your brain switches to high performance mode. Now, this is kind of like an example of like energy overload, for lack of a better term, because I ain't gonna lie, I've reached this state so many times. But every time when I used to get into energy overload, my the place where I'm at doesn't match my frequency. So I would, unfortunately, I would get frustrated, get tired, and it seems like the people that are around me would kind of exile me. So I would just be in this timeless, formless space where it's just like I don't like, do I even exist type shit. And that's when like the low vibrational thoughts will formulate. But I'm learning once again, I'm not supposed to fit in anyway, and I have to work on continuing to produce my own happiness, produce my own peace, and recenter myself. Every time when I feel some type of way, let me recenter myself and let me just be calm. That's it. Just be calm. The very second you, oh man, fuck this, no, you're already losing. Now you're really gonna lose out on a lot of energy because you're burning energy to complain about some shit. You feel me? All right. What's good, bro? You said just joined. Yeah. If you want, you can check out the live. Um, and I got to do a better job of doing a live where it's like I go 30 minutes in just chopping it up and then I get into the meat and potatoes of the live. But I talked about the 7 day forecast as far as like the moon and how it's going to uh, energetically affect everybody, men and women. So I broke down like how it affects women and how to like basically talk to women whenever the moon is affecting their cycle or whatnot, and then how it also affects the masculine frame or the masculine field, energy field. If you want, I can briefly go over it again after I'm finished with talking about how semen retention affects you. This is on a neurological scale and this is basically like a nervous system breakdown. So that's what I'm currently talking about right now. Okay, so we have to understand our bodies from our nervous system. Again, this is a lot of fancy words and shit. I used to hear it all the time. I used to watch a lot of videos by Yaki Awakening. Huge. I'm a huge advocate of his content. Yaki Awakening. He has his own website and stuff. Like I aspire to actually go to his lab one day. Get lab tests and even try some of his drinks and stuff because he's healed everybody. Not everybody, but he's healed people from any disease that you could ever think of. And he also kind of shit kind of quickly. He also kind of broke down the the meaning of dis-ease and the meaning of the body, like what the body's actually trying to tell you when you do eat certain foods or you have certain things that are quote unquote wrong with you. Literally the body is a naturally healing self mechanism, but because of the food and the toxins that are in the air, the food that we eat, that we purchase from stores and shit, it slows down and actually goes against every fiber of our being. So I really like listening to his content, like because he breaks down the understanding of the human body. Like if you want to talk about being on retention, you have to understand how it affects you on a neurological scale. So you might have to become a nerd a little bit, just a little bit. But once you learn all this shit, bro, it's gonna be lit, bro. Again, I like to do lessons like this. Of course, I can be funny and I can whatever. I can talk about dumb shit if I want to, but I don't give a fuck about that right now. You feel me? I want to at least educate myself, continue to keep learning, can continue to keep sharing information with you guys, so that way you know how to operate at a high level. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, increased. All right, so this means your thoughts are fast. Your thoughts get faster. Your reactions get sharper. You move and speak more precise with more precision. Excuse me. All right, number 9. This is another one. Mirror neuron enhancements. Okay, social plus sexual awareness. Mirror neurons allow you to read body language. That's key. Damn near 80% of the dudes that's out there do not know how to read body language on a woman. They just think if they see a woman, she looks nice, let me pull out some money, let me have some ice, let me have a grill and shit, and I can get the girl. Like, no, you need to learn how to read body language, my boy. I don't care how much money you got. Whether you got $1 million or whether you got $1, you have to know how to read body language. So when you practice retention, mirror neurons start to get enhanced. So mirror neurons allow you to read body language, micro expressions, emotional energy, intentions. On retention, your sensitivity to social cues increases. You can feel the room. You can literally feel when a female is like talking about you or damn near looking at you. Literally. And you won't even you can feel it before you see her, and then by the time you turn, you'll be like, God damn, I looked in that direction. You if I had a penny, if I had a nickel for every time that shit happened where I turned into a direction and I seen a female staring dead in my eyes, I'd be a rich motherfucker right now. G shit. You see what I'm saying? So mirror neurons allow you to read body language, micro expressions, emotional energy, and intentions. On retention, your sensitivity to social cues increases. You can feel the room. You can read people easier, um, and this is why you feel more psychic, more intuitive, more confident socially. Your brain is syncing with the outside world at a higher level. All right. So number 10, nervous system coherence. This is another thing that improves when you're practicing retention. Masculine presence. When dopamine stabilizes, the amygdala calms, testosterone rises, prefrontal cortex sharpens, reward circuits reset, your entire nervous system becomes coherent. This coherence equals masculine presence. It's the energy that says, I'm here, I'm grounded, nothing shakes me. Okay? So, pretty much when a man is on semen retention, his entire nervous system upgrades. Dopamine resets, the prefrontal cortex wakes up, the amygdala calms down, and the body shifts from stress into calm strength. Yo, much love to you. Much love to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody out here. Um, so pretty much that is the neurological breakdown as far as like the nervous system from a nervous system point of view. That's the breakdown of semen retention and how it like affects the body. Now, there's more that I want to talk about, but I'm gonna end the live for right now. And I also had like a 30-minute video that I want to post. So what I'll probably do is later on, I will go live on the MGT nightcap. If you guys want to stick around for that, probably it'd be like around 11 or 12 o'clock, like when it's a lot more quieter too. I'll go over that video. It was very powerful, but I feel like overall I learned something new today as far as like connecting the dots. When people trigger you and stuff, you got to understand what part they are attacking you. You feel me? When you talk about energy vampires can steal your thoughts, steal your joy, literally take your energy, literally set you back 5 years just by saying a few words, threatening you, threatening your future, calling the police on you, all type of shit. You feel me? There's all types of triggers that can happen, that can set, especially being a melanated guy in America, it can set people back. So with that being said, understand where they're trying to attack and know how to reshift and kind of recenter yourself, so that way, like once you get hit, it's like it ain't nothing. You're becoming bulletproof. All right, while you're on retention, you are going to be a lot more sensitive to a lot more energies. Okay, people are going to notice you more, and within the spiritual realm, they're going to notice you as well. Probably in the next live, I probably might talk about like how retention, and I think I already did this in a live before, but I want to go more in depth, like how it affects the nervous system and the sleep waking stages, as far as like you having lucid dreams. But other than that, man, MGT, what it do? It's your boy Moody Starr, and I'm back in with another video. If you're new, you already know what to do, man. Become a subscriber, like the video, and join MGT. This is a channel where I can highlight current events and talk about my spiritual walk here in this beautiful, fucked up, sideways ass matrix. Now, first of all, I got to say a special shout out to anybody that's holding on to your energy, going within and being high vibrational here at MGT. This is what we do. We work on ourselves every single day. Intro for the outro. If you made it to the end of the live, bro, you the GOAT. If you rewatch this, you the GOAT. I'm going to definitely holler at y'all. Y'all stay locked in. 7-day forecast, like I said. If you want to go over it, I can't remember right now, but just rewatch the live. And then if you want to also understand semen retention and how it affects the nervous system from a nervous system point of view, definitely watch this live as well. Very informative, just in case you're not just watching this. But I'm going to definitely see you guys on the next one. Y'all be good. Stay focused. This is the last day of the month. So I don't give a damn what you got planned or not planned. Just make sure the month of December, we got to stay locked in, because the month of December is basically a new year. All right. So we got some more working in the works. I'm going to definitely see you guys on the next video, bro.